I get those goosebumps every time.
I just have to get the big fella off the bench.
Could this be their last chance now? In it comes, Monster to the front! He scored! Ali Monster scored!
I'm way too numb, yeah. It's way too numb, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time. I need that line to throw that to the side, yo. I get those goosebumps every time, yeah. When you're not around, when you throw that to the side, yo. I get those goosebumps every time, yeah. 713 through the 281, yeah, I'm riding. Why they on me? I'm hiding. I'm slipping low key and hiding. I get those goosebumps every time. I'm around, yeah. You ease my mind, you make everything feel fine. Worry about those cons. I'm way too numb, yeah. It's way too dumb, yeah. I get those goosebumps every time. I need the hype.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Afternoon.
Yeah. Welcome to Loaded Mag NUFC on this Saturday afternoon match day. We're here on match day, the big game, Newcastle United against Luton. We're going to bring you some kick-off to countdown conversation, that's for sure. But look, boys, Daz, Chris, how are you on this Saturday afternoon? How are you feeling ahead of the game? More important.
Before I answer, Pete, I'm going to say fair play to Shane Mawson for staying awake to watch this out in Australia. Nice one, Shane. Dedication. So that deserves a special mention. But I'm good. Looking forward to the game. Looking forward to what it may bring. Finding a stream that'll work right before kickoff, and then coming back for the reaction show to hopefully celebrate a win or a loss or a draw. But a win is what we're hoping for, and to keep that. This is the start of the revenge show. You gave it the title, the Revenge Tour, Pete. So let's hope we get over the first hurdle.
Definitely. So I'm a little bit worried about before we start shouting revenge to I'm a bit like, let's beat these first. But no, you're absolutely right. Chris, how are you, fella? How's things?
Good, mate. Yeah, all good. It was really weird when you announced the show and you were like, "Good afternoon, boys." It took me back a bit because 1-0 Spurs
already.
And guess who scored?
Maddison.
Richarlison.
Oh.
Yeah.
Celebration?
So, No, they've all swamped them. Pickford's not happy. Yeah, 3 minutes in, 1-0 Tottenham. I'll just run you through the goal if you want. It was a well-worked goal. It was a well-worked goal. Yeah. Richarlison's going like that. He's apologising to the fans. I like that though. You know, I think that's really respectful. I do like that.
Fair play.
It's taken. Oh, here we go. Ball down the left. Well worked. Doggy done a good run there. Nice. Yeah, Doggy on the byline, crossed in the. Oh my God! It's a great finish, lad. But there's 3 defenders around him, and not one of them are marking Richarlison. Richarlison's just on his own in the middle of the box. Easy tap in, left foot. Pickford, no chance. 1-0. So yeah,
come on, get back into this.
Yeah,
we need all the favours.
I'm even better now, boys. I'm even better. But no. In all seriousness, no. I'm absolutely fine, mate. And yeah, talking of the revenge tour, I was going to say the revenge tour started early, but technically, Aston Villa wasn't the revenge tour, really, was it? Because we already had the home win, but revenge tour on the Premier League is what I'd say. So we've started a week early, and I've got to be honest, boys. I'm a little bit nervous today because of how confident I feel. I feel pretty confident. And I can't wait to get stuck into the lineup as well because I'm really intrigued to hear what you boys think. I don't know if you've seen the Jason Tyndall press conference. I had a little watch of it last night. Very interesting. And I've got my own opinions on it. But yeah, can't wait to discuss it with you boys. But how are you, Pete? You all right, mate?
Yeah, all good. Worried about whether I'd have enough Wi-Fi to join us today.
Watching on your new Wi-Fi, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's not the Wi-Fi; it's the installation of Virgin. So making sure that everything is as it should be. But I'm here, so it's working at the moment. Let's see how long it goes. But great to have everyone in the chat. If you haven't already, just click the like button. Come and click that like button, help us along the channel, and subscribe to the channel as well if you're new to watching the channel. Lots of people that we recognize in the chat. Truls is in the chat. Not seen you in there for a while, Truls. Hope you're well, as many others. Les, Shane, Lawrence, as we can see. Great to have you in there as well. That's for sure. But look, boys, we'll run it through really quickly with regards to the build up to the game, because you have mentioned it, so we'll bring it up now. In that, it was Jason Tindall on the presser, not Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe under the weather, so therefore wasn't there. What did you make of him in front of the camera? How he came across? Daz, I'm not sure if you've seen the presser yourself, but what you might have heard that the comments and the things that he's come out and said. What sort of interested you most about Tindall's presser?
Yeah, I didn't see the full press conference. Sometimes I do, but no, I didn't get to watch it. I saw the snippets, the questions he was asked, especially around his own character and stuff. It was interesting answers he gave. He came across really well. It's like what I do myself, and as I said on Football Manager, I sent JT to the press conferences as well. I can't be dealing with that. Football Manager, get going as fast as possible. But yeah, it was interesting that what he said about who may or not make it today. We had totally ruled out Isaac, so there's a chance that he will be involved in some capacity today, and of course Wilson and Barnes as well. So we'll get to talk about that in a few minutes. But no, he's done well. But they did say that Eddie Howe, I think Eddie Howe was going to take a training after that then yesterday, and is going to be involved today. So be the tag team back together.
Yeah, definitely. And he did mention that
well, that's Chris.
The Wi-Fi's kicked in again, no doubt, and zapped him off. But he'll be back in just a second. But it is interesting that actually Eddie, he did say, you're right, Daz, Eddie Howe is likely to take training and would likely to be in the dugout. And that was the question I was going to come to you next, is he going to be there? And look, I think only COVID kept him away from one of the games when he first took over. I find it very, very difficult to believe that he won't be in charge today of the game. That's for sure. But you've touched on an interesting point that we will come to in just a second. But I just wanted to ask you, Daz, before we come back to the Newcastle element of things. Obviously, we'll talk a little bit about Luton, because Luton obviously got the victory against us last time at Kenilworth Road. Who are the players, if there are any, that you think we need to maybe worry about sort of today? And I'll go through a few of them. Obviously, you got the likes of Andros Townsend, the likes of Tim Krul. Whether he's going to be involved or not, he might well not be. And we've got as well Ross Barkley. Who out of those kind of players, maybe Krul aside, are the ones that you think are going to be most difficult and the most difficult to manage?
Well, Townsend stepped up the last time and he surprised me. I don't want him to come back and haunt us again. And the striker up front that scored eight goals from the season as well. For me, and I'm distracted in the chat because I see we've been joined by someone as well. So maybe I'm going to stop talking about Luton and let our guests talk a bit more about Luton to fill in the blanks.
Yeah, I'd not mentioned it to you boys. A bit of a surprise there, because I wasn't sure if he was going to make it. But of course, on away days, we love the opposition view, and it's a pleasure to have Dave from Old When the Town. So let's bring him in. How you doing, Dave?
I'm doing all right, thank you. I hope you can hear me all right. I'm stuck on a coach, not my normal mode of transport to the away game though. So I'm all good.
No, definitely not. Whereabouts are you? Are you in Newcastle? Are you near there? Are you just on the way?
For a bar.
1 second.
I'm hoping you can still hear me, right?
Just a second. Just lost you for a second, Dave.
Well, see, that's the joys of 4G and travelling on a coach.
Yeah, no. Where are you in Newcastle yet, or are you nearby?
No, we're nearby. We're not too far away. You know, another 15, 20 minutes and we'll be in. And then we'll look for something to do.
Well, one thing in Newcastle, there's plenty to do. So get yourself to a pub somewhere. Maybe watch the football and in the build up to the game. And I'm sure the Newcastle fans will look after you. They always do when they're up there. That's for sure. But
Yeah,
look, I was going to say, Dave, just from a Luton point of view, how are you feeling about today? Are you confident having beat us at your ground at Kenilworth Road? What's the feeling amongst the Luton fans?
It's a good question, really, because since we played you, we've lost one game in 8 in all competitions. We have scored more goals than Manchester United in total, which is an amazing result for us. Are we confident? We're confident we can give you a game. Are we confident we can win? I don't know. I'm hoping not to lose. That's my first point of call. Can we win? Yeah, of course we can win. But then if you guys are on form, then it's going to be a very, very difficult match. If you get your players coming back from injury, it's extremely difficult. After your performance at Aston Villa, I'm thinking it'll be very tough for us. But we're not going to be a pushover, and I think you've realised that from the first game. And I think everything's turned around for us from from people thinking that every game they'll play will be a walkover, to actually take us a bit more seriously now. So I'm optimistic, but can we win? Well, anyone can win the game. Will we win? That's a different thing, isn't it? That's a different thing altogether. So I'm hopeful that we can come away with a positive result for us, but I'm under no illusions how difficult it will be, especially with the rest of you guys cheering your team on at your place. So it'll be an interesting game.
Definitely. I've got another question for you. I don't know if the boys might have a separate question for you, but I've asked Daz this just a second ago, just before Chris came back on, and I asked about sort of who are the danger men for Luton Town, and I asked that from a Newcastle perspective on who we need to look out for. But for you, Dave, who are the players that could cause problems for Newcastle United today, in your opinion?
When I was backstage, I heard you talking about Ross Barkley, and he's been an absolute revelation for us. He's been brilliant. If he's on good form today, he'll be a difference. Lokonga, who's on loan, has been phenomenal recently. Genuinely, if you just see us against Brighton, I could name every member of that team for that game. But Alfie Doughty's good with his crossing, and Ogbeni, as I think I said to you last time we spoke, quick as, and if he can get on the ball and get on his game, you need to look out for him. And obviously, at the moment, flavour of the month, Elijah. Can you hear that bouncing? Elijah Adebayo, who got a hat-trick against Brighton, his first hat-trick for us in the Premier League. I read today that there was some really big people, like Dennis Bergkamp never scored a hat-trick, so, that's cool. So Adebayo as well, if he's on form, he'll be a handful. So, those. A goalkeeper's in form too, so, it's a real one. Look out for it. I mean, everybody's going to look out for Clark, so look out for Lokonga, look out for Elijah Adebayo. And if Colton Morris as well, he's been on good form too. So I'm just hopeful they can put in the same performance they put in this week against Brighton, because that game we literally dominated from start to finish and did not stop. And if we put in half the performance there, we're going to give you guys a good game today.
Dave, just a quick question. Your new signing, the Japanese international, I'm reading it, Hashioka, do you think he'll get his debut today?
No, he's not going to play today. I think they're going to give him time to bed in. So I suspect he might get his debut when we're at home. So they've said he's not playing. But I'm looking forward to seeing him. It's quite exciting. If we've, a Japanese player in our team, we wouldn't have thought about 2 seasons ago, and the amount of money we've done. Although, again, in the broader scheme of things, with the bigger clubs in the division, and I have to include Nottingham Forest with their spending and things like that. We've spent more than we've ever spent before, but we're still not spending huge amounts. So it's a bit difficult to say. But we're picking up some right gems. Adebayo cost us 250k. Ross Barkley was free. Andros Townsend free. So we're doing good business.
Dave, were you happy with the transfer window, and not just in terms of incomings, but were you happy with the fact that you managed to keep hold of all your players? Was there any rumour that you might struggle to keep hold of the odd player?
Hey, listen, every transfer window, every fan sits there and goes, "Who the hell are we going to get rid of, and how can we keep these people?" Our transfer business, I think, has been good for us, probably more than we've expected in the last few seasons. We've got a decent squad. And I was quite surprised to see Ryan Giles go, but I suppose that was a personal thing. But no big deal. We've replaced him already, so we're not worried. So we're quite happy. We're really quite happy, I think, and content. Yeah. And if those players on the end of their contracts, as long as we can renegotiate those, the ones we want to keep, then the future's good. And if we continue on our current form, who knows where we might be next season?
Are you worried? Are you worried at all, Dave, about Doty? Because Doty's he's having an outstanding season, isn't he? And are you worried that maybe in the summer, other clubs might be looking at him as a potential option?
I think everyone's looking at our players in the shop window. It depends who he's going to go to, doesn't it? If someone big comes knocking, or would he just? I think it also depends on our survival status, really. If we stay up, I think we've got every chance of keeping it. But agents these days will put his name around, and if a bigger club, and I don't mean I would be disappointed, and I no disrespect to other teams around us, but if he sort of moves to somewhere like Brentford or West Ham or somewhere like that, I think I'd be a little bit disappointed. But if he went for one of the bigger sides, then I wouldn't be surprised. But who knows? Yeah. Him, Adebayo, I think those two are the ones that people are looking at the moment.
Yeah.
And look, I'm going to come to this question. We asked you on the away days, the previous game. We'll ask you again. In your opinion, at this stage right now, do you think you've got enough to stay in the Premier League? Do you think you will stay in the Premier League?
Okay, well, when we spoke previously, I was cautiously optimistic. I think from the day that we started, when we played Brighton the first day, to now, we're a different team, and I'm feeling we have every chance of staying up. And if the scores stay the same today, we're not going to go in the bottom three as it stands. So I think we have, and why not? We've got to play Sheffield United, not Wednesday. That would be silly, wouldn't it? So United, we've got to play. I'm looking for 3 points at home to Manchester United because everybody can beat them. So we've got some interesting. We've got a lot of the lowest parts of the league to play. So there's every chance, and it's not over until it's over. So we're definitely not down by Christmas, as Garth Crooks said it would be. So all is good. All is good.
And look, Dave, I'm gonna let you go in just a second, just because I know you're travelling and obviously you're thinking about the game day today. But just before you go, prediction: what are you going for? 5 o'clock this afternoon. What do you think the score's going to be?
If at 5 o'clock this afternoon we've got 1 point, I'll be happy. So I'm going to tentatively say 1 each. But if we're gonna score, can we score first? Because I always like celebrating first. And if we're going to score the only goal of the game, can we score it in the 98th minute so you've got no time to reply? That's all I'm saying. So I'm hoping. Look, at best for me, if I'm being realistic, you've got a decent team, you've got a decent squad. They probably not been firing on all cylinders up until the game against Villa. But when I watched the Villa game, it was pretty good, wasn't it? And you swept them aside. The only game this season that I felt we weren't competitive enough in was Aston Villa away. But everywhere else, we've been all right, and we haven't had that drubbing. So I don't want that to happen. So if I can, and if you can let me just rule my heart here and just say, can we come away not losing? I'll be happy.
Okay. No, that's absolutely fair. And look, best of luck to you for the rest of the season after today, of course, as we always say. What I will say is just get your deep breaths in for that long trip up to level 7, right at the top.
Yeah.
'Cause you're going
Up
to
in the
need it.
sky.
Can I just say I just read the comment that went back on the screen there about Luton podcast saying they're going to confidently win 3-1. I don't think we said that. I don't think we said that. I think it might have been someone else. I think if you're stupid enough to think we're going to come and walk over Newcastle United today, I think you're a little bit deluded. I think it's going to be, if we're going to win, it's going to be a tight game. And I just hope that we don't let you score early and take control of the match. So I think we'll find our high press will be there. But I mean, some people are confident, but I think you've got to be realistic. I'll be taking the lift, by the way. I'm going to be tempted to be disabled and getting the lift.
No, smart move, and I respect that 110%. But look, from us boys, massive thanks to you for taking the time.
Cheers, Dave.
Travels to come and join in. Obviously, your podcast, All When the Town. So everyone, if you haven't already, and we'll put it in the chat or at some point, put it in there.
I mean, if you want to see our match reaction, it's published on Tuesday morning. It's Spotify, YouTube, all those sort of places, and we'd welcome a few likes and shares if you do see it.
Excellent. You take care, Dave.
Cheers,
have a great day, safe journey there and home as well, and we'll speak to you soon, mate.
Yeah, brilliant.
We'll take the points of front fires next week. Don't worry. We'll take the points.
Make sure that happens.
Yeah, definitely. You take care, mate.
See you guys.
Have a good one.
Take care, Dave. Cheers.
Take care, mate. Brilliant stuff. Brilliant to have Dave on. It was only on the off chance I sent him the link and said, if you can make, he didn't even get back to me. So that's why I didn't think he was coming. And then
I thought you were trying to set me up, Pete. I was about to lay into Luton, and then who's this guy?
No, and, he didn't respond because I knew he was traveling, but brilliant for him to pop on. And Chris has put that in the chat as well, in the comments, I believe. So make sure, All When the Town, give them a follow and subscribe. They're good people, and respect that 100%. So get the Luton perspective in there. We were talking about Luton a little bit, and we were going to come back to sort of Tyndall's presser, and I just want to focus on, boys. When this came out, a lot of people on social media jumped on this for a different reason, and it's the under-21s game. So people are thinking, well, why does that relate to today's game? Well, what's interesting about that is that two players, Travis Hearns and Ben Parkinson, have been regulars on Newcastle United's bench in games gone by. But the fact that they're playing or played last night means that they can't be available for the game today. So people were ringing out saying, does this mean we're going to get some players back? And look, there's been rumours from what Tyndall said in his presser that this man is long awaited return. Harvey Barnes is very, very close. Unlucky, some said, that he didn't make the Villa game. Also rumours about Callum Wilson. Also some rumours about Joe Willock. And especially some initial rumours when we saw this, that it was going to be 3 to 4 weeks. There's a potential that he could well be back, given is this type of celebration on the pitch today. So, boys, I want to know, we're like, who do you think is going to be available today out of those list of players? Do you think any of them is going to be available? All of them? Some of them? What are your thoughts, Daz? I'll come to you. What are you thinking today?
Are we doing the tactics board? Are we putting a team together there? Or are we doing it verbally?
No, we're going to put the team together, but I just want to know whether you think those guys will be a part of the squad more than anything.
Okay. Oh yeah, I think all three are going to be part of the squad. Especially when number 8 and 9 and Parkinson and the other chap there are playing for the under-21s. But yeah, it's a question of, do we think they're going to play or going to be involved from the bench? And then the big question is, do we even if if the medical teams give the thumbs up on Isak, do we start him or not, or do we just keep him in reserve to see if we need him and give him that extra bit, just to make sure he's 100% or not? That is the question. And then how I suppose Barnes and Wilson are going to need minutes as part of their recovery anyway. But sorry, you had Willock as well. I don't think Willock is going to be involved today.
Chris, the same mindset as Daz, all three being involved, or potentially sort of all four, maybe Willock, maybe Isak as well. What are you thinking?
Yeah, so touching on the press conference, first of all, I could even while watching it, I could smell the bullshit. Personally, boys, I don't think Alexander Isak's going to be anywhere near the squad. The good news for me is I think that it's not as bad as they first thought, and I think he's got a chance against Forest or Bournemouth. I think he could be safe for Bournemouth, if I'm honest. But honestly, I will be gobsmacked if he's in that squad today. I think he's learned from the best, and I think Jason Tyndall has dropped a little bomb just to make Luton second guess. I don't think Isak's going to be in the squad. I think Isak. I think Callum Wilson will be on the bench, and I think that Harvey Barnes will be on the bench. I don't think Joe Willock will. It's probably come a week, 2 weeks early for him. But yeah, I'll tell you what, and it would be dramatic, won't it, if Alexander Isak's in that squad? But I don't think he will be. The interesting one for me. And if there is another space on the bench up for grabs, I maybe this is just me being all hyped up. I want to see Alfie Addison on the bench. I'd love to see Alfie Addison on the bench. I think that would be interesting. I'd love to see him get a little 5 or 10 minutes just to see what he's all about. He probably wouldn't come on anyway, but I just want to see what all the hype's about. So I'd be excited. Oh yeah. Jeff said never trust Chris's nose for bullshit. Yeah, Lisa says that as well, Jeff. But yeah, I think I think Wilson and Barnes will both be on the bench, and I think Gordon will start through the middle. On the left will be Miggy, and on the right will be Murphy. But I know we're going to get to the tactics board in a minute. But I don't think Isak will be in the squad. What about you, Pete? What do you think? Sorry, Dan.
I'm still unsure with Isak. I would love to see all three on the bench, meaning Barnes, Wilson, and Willock. I would love all three to be on the bench. Like, even if Willock doesn't come on, even if he does come on and plays like 2 minutes just to see the game out, just to see him back in the squad, I think will give him a lift, the players a lift, and the fans as well, just to see him in and around things. I think it's really important at this stage. And if he's been training regularly, what's the harm in having him a part of the match day fixture, in having him on the bench, being involved in the warm-up, being involved in the match day? He's not really played a lot of football this season. And the reason why I say that, boys, is because we've had so many young players on the bench that had no intentions of ever coming on. So if we're going to have no intentions of a player coming on, why wouldn't you want a first-team player like Willock involved in the team? Like, for me, so I personally would be looking to have all of them involved in some way, shape, or form. You're right in terms of the Isak situation, Chris. From the perspective is that it was only Tuesday that he picked up the injury. It would be a miraculous recovery for him to then be available, even if it was a bench role. But equally to that, as I said to you boys on the reaction show, there wasn't really a distinctive time in the game where he actually pulled up and held anything.
1-1. Everton have been all over Tottenham. Literally, I keep saying around. Everton have been all over Tottenham, and I tell you what, looks like the keeper's made a bit of a howler there, if I'm honest.
Wow.
Vicario's he's going into the referee. But yeah, it was a corner ball that came in very, very close to the crossbar. I think Vicario's misjudged it. It's been headed off the line, but it's been headed straight to Calvert-Lewin, who's just nodded it in. I'm just going to see the replay now, but Vicario looks gobsmacked. I don't know why, because it looks like he's made a big error. Tell you what, Fraser Forster's looking old now, isn't he? That's another. Oh, hang on. Yeah, so corner in, fantastic ball. Yeah, Vicario's swiped at it. I don't even think it's hit the bar. Vicario swiped at it, got a tiny touch on it, Tarkowski's on the line, heads it back to Calvert-Lewin, 1-0. I don't know what Spurs are moaning for. 1-1, sorry. Yeah, don't know what Spurs are moaning for. There's no way.
Wow.
Oh, I think. Are they trying to say it was a? Oh, it's getting VAR'd. I don't see
says
what else
goal.
I don't see how they're going to rule it out.
No, they've kicked off again, but they've kicked off again.
I'm a bit behind. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
I'm not watching the
one.
game. I've just put it on because you were talking about it, and they've kicked off just now. So that says that the goal stands. It should anyway. I don't know.
There was nothing wrong with it, Pete. From what I was seeing, there was nothing wrong with it. And yeah, big goal for Everton. That game on now.
Game on, definitely.
Just a quick update. I'm just refreshing my phone here because the players are streamed into the St James's Park now. Jordan says Harvey Barnes set to start from the bench is what he's saying just now. Okay. But
great stuff. Yeah, great to have him back involved. I think it's been really harsh, boys. Sections of the fan base kind of referring to Harvey Barnes as a bit of a flop. I don't agree with that, and the reason why I don't agree with it is because he's not played any football. Like in the 2 or 3 games that he's played or been involved in, he's got a goal and an assist. Like for the less amount of minutes he's played, that's not bad stats, to be fair. And I just think we need to give him time to show us what he's all about. We know when he's at Leicester or when he was at Leicester, he was a double figures goal scorer in a season where he was playing regular. Like, this has been an unfortunate season for him, and I think we need to get behind him. And I'm sure the fans will. I'm not questioning that at all. We'll get behind him, get him a run of minutes, and when we see those minutes being played, I think he could be a really important, potent player, either from the bench or starting between now and the end of the season. So, great to have him in, that's for sure. And I just want to see a stronger bench to choose from. I want to see, the likes of Kraft, the likes of Livramento, maybe even Lascelles. We've not talked about Lascelles, could well be available too as a defensive option. And then with your potential of your Willock, your Barnes, your Wilsons, Isak aside, that's a much stronger bench. You've got firepower, even if it's the last 15, the last 10 minutes for some of those players. Bringing them on is going to give everybody a lift, and there's a chance there to nick something later on in the game. But boys, I want to kind of come to the next part where we actually talk about who's going to play for Newcastle. So what I've done here on the tactics board, I've put the team that Luton had against Brighton midweek. So that's the team and the setup. So you can already see their setup was slightly different there. Now, what are we going for then, boys? Like, is it straightforward today? Are we going to see any shocks or surprises? Change of positions? What we thinking? Like, we can go through it together. Like, what we thinking in terms of our starting lineup?
But Dubravka's already in the goal, so we'll keep him there.
I put him there because I thought it was just an obvious choice.
Yeah. It'll be Byrne at left back. Okay. Yeah, because we haven't come to the situation where we're missing Bruno and where we have to look at the alternative formation. So yeah, I'd say we're all agreed on that one. Trips right back.
Yep.
And Botman and Char.
Yeah, I'm sure. I think from some of the pictures, Shaw's already in the house. So yeah, he's already turned up to St James. Yeah. Chris, talk to us for your midfield, mate. What do you think the midfield's going to look like?
Yeah, I think like Daz just said. Then it's going to be pretty standard. I think it'd be pretty easy to pick the team bar the front three. There could be arguments over the front three as to what we think it could be. But for the midfield, for me, I think it will be Bruno in the holding position.
Okay. Are we worried about that 10th booking?
No, do you know what? I'm not, because I think Bruno knows the position he's in, and I'm sure the coaching staff have made him very aware of the fact that we can't do without him. So I think Bruno's just got to be careful. He's just got to make sure that he doesn't lunge into anything, and that he's very clever in his play. It's hard because that's the kind of player he is, and you would never want Bruno. You would never say to Bruno, "Well, don't get involved in 50-50s," or don't be too aggressive, because you take some of his game away. So that's the difficult thing with Bruno. But I think he'll be calculated in his play, and he has been for the last few games, hasn't he? He hasn't picked up a yellow, so fingers crossed he doesn't pick up a yellow this game. But yeah, I think it'll be Bruno Holden. I think on the left will be Louis Miley.
Miley on the left, yep.
And I think it'll be Sean Longstaff on the right.
Okay. And then, boys, we can do this together. What we're going for in terms of the front three? How is it going to look, in your opinion? Positions wise.
Murphy gets the right.
Yeah. Murphy on the right. Then
Gordon in the middle, up front.
Okay.
And I think it's they'll disagree with me. I think it's going to be Miggy on the left. He did well on the left when he came on, and he got that cross in, and so he was impressive there after everything that had gone on during the week. And then that leaves Barnes to bring on from the bench. Maybe Wilson to come on from the bench. Like maybe you'd switch Gordon out to the left and bring on Wilson at some stage, or depending on how the game plays out. And if I'm waiting to see if Isaac rocks up at the stadium, but depending on if we have Isaac on the bench or not. Hopefully, if we do have him on the bench, that we don't need to use him. We can spare him and get him fully right. But we'll see. Sorry, go on.
Oh no, go on, Dad. Sorry, mate. Go on.
No, I was just going to say. Then also, it's great. Like I always want to see Tino Livramento starting, but I think it's great to have him from the bench as well. So that'll be. How strong is that bench looking then? Like,
yeah.
I've just put those players just in the corner there on the tactics board. Livramento, Harvey Barnes, Wilson, potentially Willock, Lewis Hall, and then you can add there Jamal Lascelles. You've got
Emil Kraft.
Emil Kraft, definitely. You got 6-7 potential players there that you can call across. With the availability of 5 subs. So already there, you've got strength in numbers that can come on and make a difference to the game. Every single one of those players in some way, shape or form can come and make a difference in the contribution to that game. And that's what we've been missing all season. And this is crucial, particularly against a team like Luton, who go as hard as we do. They work just as hard as we do, and they can go for long distances. So bringing on these players that have got something different to their game, I'm excited by that, boy. So we definitely go with Miggy on the left, Murphy on the right. You want to keep that to the same. I'm gonna have to ask the question.
Pete, just to jump in, sorry, really quick. I've just noticed there was a question in the chat from Jexall1. So thank you for tuning in, Jexall. Just off the back of what you've just said, Pete, chaps. Please, can we talk about the possibility of playing non-inverted wingers today? Now, obviously, we're suggesting there non-inverted wingers because, as we know, Miggy Almiron is left-footed, Jacob Murphy is right-footed. Do you think that's going to have an impact today, Pete?
I think so. Look, strikers need to know where the ball's coming. They need to know that they can make a run in the box and that they're going to get on, and that they're going to be in a position to get on the end of it. The problem we have is, and I'm being particular with Miggy here, is that you don't know what Miggy's going to do. Miggy will cut inside. You don't know whether he's going to cross it, pass it, or shoot. So for a striker, it's really difficult. But what he did, and Daz, you touched on it earlier, what he did against Villa was be direct and get a ball across goal. Yeah. So Murphy could know to make the run, to be there, to create the goal, make it happen. Gordon's going to want that today as well. We know Murphy does it. Murphy crosses the ball really well on that right-hand side. So that's without question. Gordon can cut inside, but he can also whip a ball in as well with his left foot. So he does have the ability to do a bit of both. So for me, I just think from that perspective, it makes sense today. I'm just, like I say, I'm just worried, and it goes back to the point that I was going to make with regards to the players. Oh, hold on 1 second. Something just popped up. I think it might be Harvey Barnes just arriving. So yeah, I think Barnes is there. But is the Dan Burn situation? The question is there a goal?
Yeah, sorry, mate. I was just saying to Callum walked out the room and he walked back in, seen the score, and I went, lads, it was a great goal. Richarlison's just hit it from about 20 yards out, and it screamed in the top corner. Absolutely fantastic finish. Pickford had no chance. And again, Richarlison looks pretty sorry about the fact that he scored against Everton. But yeah, ball out wide, Werner. Plays it back to plays it back to Maddison, who quickly gives it to Richarlison just outside the 18-yard box. So you're talking 20 yards out, and he just hits it with his right foot, bends it. Jordan Pickford's got no chance. 2-1 Tottenham.
Wow.
Those little hands.
Richarlison has been doing bits for Tottenham this season. After a really bad season last season, he is not doing great. And in addition to Barnes, Wilson is on the bench. Lovely, lovely stuff. This is what we want to hear, boys. The best players coming back into the squad. I just wanted to throw out a kind of a question to you, devil's advocate, if you will. With Luton being a very fast-paced team, they've got a lot of pace in their team. They work hard, particularly down the wings. Would there be a need to drop Dan Burn? Dan Burn's been fantastic recently. He has been playing well, but just to combat that pace that he struggled with against Leon Bailey, for example, on Tuesday, would you consider a potential change of bringing Livramento in as the alternative option? What do you think about that, boys?
Would I consider? Yes. Would Eddie consider? No. But Dan Burn has been playing really well recently. To give him credit. But I think he's going to start. But if Tino rocks up in there, I'm happy. But I think he'll stick with Burn, and Burn will do a job.
Yeah, definitely. Would you consider it, Chris?
I would consider it, but I totally agree with Daz. I don't think Eddie will consider it. And in fairness, we've had this conversation numerous times, haven't we, boys? When Dan Burns been up against Anthony, when he's been up against Saka, when he's been up against real quick wingers. And in fairness to him, he's dealt with them. So I get your point, Pete. Obviously, every time we do the tactics boards with opposition fans, it's always a topic of conversation because they always say it's a bit of a mismatch. But Dan Burn handles it really well. And to be honest, I think now is the time to try and solidify that back four. Try and play consistently the same back four, because we know that this back four, way back when, was I think it held the record for the most clean sheets in the Premier League at one point. So we know that they all play together, they all know each other. The more Martin Dubravka's playing, you can see Martin Dubravka's performances are improving. So for me, I would stick with the same back four. Massive fan of Tino Livramento, and I think he's going to be such a big player for us in the future. But I would probably use Tino Livramento as an impact player. I would either look at him to come on either wing, or I would use him if, say, Dan Burns getting tired, or if we need to change the tactics. And let's not forget, boys, when Kieran Trippier bombs forward, as we know that he is capable of doing, we know that Dan Burn can slot in next to Botman and Shaw, and all of a sudden you've got that back three. So we're nice and we're nicely balanced when Dan Burn's in the team, I think.
Definitely. The only one of the main reasons I think they might stick with Dan Burn is because Luton do score goals from set pieces. It was the goal that they scored against us came from a set piece at Kenilworth Road. So I think that he will be crucial in that for sure. Last question from me before we kind of come to predictions, boys, and any kind of questions that we have to round off. Do you think we're going to see the five at the back become a regular feature to hold on like in games or to see out games? It's the first time we've properly done it on Tuesday, and it worked really well. Is it something you're expecting to see more from Eddie Howe moving forward, Daz?
I hope so. If we're under the cosh like we were towards It was the opposition where we're picking up in Villa, we're trying to come at us, and it just made sense to shut up shop then. But he'll only use it when he needs to. He said it before. He wants to play attacking football. He knows us what we need. But when it comes down to making sure the results, go for it. He gets my back and to do it. We called people out in our chat right before he did it, that it was the right thing to do, and it was great that he had learned from the Man City game to do that. And just before go to Chris, just comparing the team that we're saying here today to the team that when we played them away from home, it was Dubravka, Trips, Byrne, Char, Lascelles. So that's the same. Apart from Lascelles and Botman. Botman came on as a sub in that game. The same midfield as in Miley, Longstaff, and Bruno. And in attack, we had Miggy, Wilson, and Gordon. So, with slight differences there. But, we were in a different place, of course. So, mentally at that stage as well. Everything else. Sorry, Chris, you go for your answer here on the five at the back.
Yeah, no, mate. I mean, I think there's a time and a place for it. I think, as we discussed in the last show, if we pick up an injury if we pick up a suspension for Bruno, if Willock doesn't come back as quickly as we hope, it's certainly an option. And I tell you what, boys, another one to mention. I noticed there was a picture the other day of Elliot Anderson in his footy boots. So maybe Elliot Anderson isn't too far away. Fingers crossed. So there's another option. It's pretty exciting, is what I'd say. And you know what? I don't know if you boys have watched it yet. I watched the little dart special that Newcastle United did, and I noticed Elliot Anderson was he looks pretty comfortable to me, considering he's got a back injury. I thought he's not looking too bad. There was lots of twisting and turning going on. So yeah, I think hopefully Elliot Anderson's not too far away as well, and to have him back as well, what an option. And the big thing is, and we've spoken about this all season, and I've been saying this to all my red and blue mates, that people don't understand when you look at the 11. People go, "Oh, your team's fine. What are you moaning for? I know you've got some injuries, but get on with it." But the big thing for us has been the bench, hasn't it, boys? We've not had the options or the opportunity to be able to switch things up or rest players. And I tell you what, if we've got anywhere near that bench, those options there, and that doesn't even include Alexander Isak, and it doesn't even include the goalkeeper. So to have those options available would be absolutely fantastic. And I do believe we can really start this revenge tour on a positive note today.
Hopefully.
And on that note, we will go to predictions, boys. And look, will the revenge tour kick into gear? That's the question I want to know. And look, I'm going to throw it out there. I think we're going to win. I think we have to win. And I'm going to go Newcastle to win 2-0. Daz, we'll go around the circles. Daz, what are you going for prediction-wise?
In honor of Keith's role, I'm going to say no. I'm not. I'm going to say 2-0 as well. That was my score as well, Pete. Not the 1-1, Keith, that you probably have on that phone, but 2-0 Newcastle for me.
Go on, Chris Vella. What we thinking?
I'm just doing this.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
No, it's not quite 2-0. I'm going 3-0. I'm going 3-0.
Okay. Oh,
3-0.
Okay.
Higher.
Yeah. Higher. Yeah. I think, and you know what, boys? And I think off us all saying that as well. I think we keep a clean sheet today. I do. I think we're going to be solid at the back, and I think we're going to get at them early. I think we could be 1 or 2 up at half time, and as soon as them subs start coming on, it's time to get excited.
Yeah, an early goal will certainly settle the nerves for everything Newcastle United related. Get the fans up, get everything buzzing. They've not experienced this atmosphere. This is we are a tough place to go, and we need to remember that. As fans, being in the stadium, we need to create that and make it difficult. Sorry, Daz.
Yeah, no, it's mad in the chat as well. Like we've got Shane in Australia. We've got another chap in Florida as well. I can't remember the name now, but I should have marked. I'll find it in a second. But we've got to coin a phrase who's en route to the match as well, and he's saying he'd be happy with the 1-0. And Andy diagonally. I don't know how many points he almost now, but he's saying 7-0. Bet you a point. So bring that on, Andy. That'll be some reaction show. But yeah, can't see that. But yeah, some great comments in the chat as well. Everyone getting ready for the game.
No, brilliant stuff. And for all those around the world and those heading towards the game, thank you for jumping in. Oh, Kevin, yeah, great stuff.
Yes, Kev, that was it. Yes.
There we go. Thanks for watching our kickoff countdown show and being a part of it, getting your comments and questions in. As we've said, nearly 100 in the chat. Click the likes. If you're new, click the subscribe. We've already had 1 or 2 new subscribers just from this show again today. So thank you for your support. You've heard our predictions. Some of you getting your predictions in the chat as well. But look, let's get the boys do the business. And I'm looking forward to this one today, hopefully for 3 points, that's for sure. But at this point, massive thanks to everybody. And as well, if you haven't already, you've seen us on YouTube right now, but if you haven't already, come and join us on our socials. Loaded Mag NUFC info at gmail.com for any business interests you want to work alongside and partner up with Loaded Mag NUFC. That's the place to go. Contact us on there and get in touch. And look, our shows are everywhere. YouTube, as you're watching right now, and they'll be on later on down the line, 24 hours on Spotify, Apple Music, and Amazon Music as well. But we're on socials, always commenting, always putting shows out and opinions out on socials. So follow Loaded Mag NUFC on X, TikTok, and Instagram as well. Anything else to add, boys, before we wrap up?
Yeah. Tony, Tony from Twitter, who comments on the channel as well. He's asking Jordan any sign of Isaac or Willock, and Jordan is saying,
yeah,
like Murphy does, no sign.
Yeah,
We'll
look, we've got a couple back, which I'm pleased about. It would be nice to have had a couple more, but hey, who's to say that Forest doesn't bring those 2 boys back into the play as well?
Yeah, exactly. Right, yeah, we're wrapping up. So we will see you later for the reaction show, and join us at 7:30 for the reaction show, and find somewhere to watch the game. Back at 7:30, as we said, for that. So where is it? Where's it gone? Where's our usual? Here it is. How'd you like that? See you later, everybody. Enjoy the game.
How you like